The views and opinions expressed by the guest author or speaker during this live session are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of Reader's Magnet. The content shared is for informational purposes only and does not constitute endorsement or promotion of any particular belief, ideology, or product.
Hello, authors, book lovers, and storytellers, and welcome to another exciting episode of Reader's Magnet featured author interview, where we dive deep into the world of creativity and inspiration. And our guest for today is the author of the book, A Promise of Love by Christmas. So please help me welcome Ms. Ren McClellan. So, Ren, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, and thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for joining us. And again, to all of our viewers and book lovers, there's going to be a link down in the comment section below. So feel free to check it out, though. We're going to be adding that link so you can see the book is, what the book is all about. But first, let us know on who is the author inspiration behind this book. So, Ren, could you please give us a quick introduction of who is Ren McClellan?
Sure. I am a music pastor's wife. I hold a lot of degrees in like Kidman Academy and Hebrew. I do teach biblical Hebrew. I love studying the Bible, and that's one of the reasons I write Christian romance.
Oh,
I really want people to know that there's a life outside of drugs, drinking, and sleeping around that is amazing and fun and full of life.
Love that. Love that. And I really love the idea. So, Ren, if you can indulge me for a second, can you please tell me what this book is all about?
This book, and I'm going to actually read something here. I received
Sure.
an amazing review by a literary agent, and it was so refreshing to get somebody who read it and knew exactly what I was trying to do. She referred to the book as a suspense-laced romance that delves into the themes of forgiveness, redemption, and the enduring power of love. And that is exactly what I tried to bring across in the book. So she just made my day. We spent 45 minutes on the phone. And but this story is about a woman named Danielle. And she was basically dumped by her guy, her childhood sweetheart, with no explanation as to why. So she's on this journey to either get over it or come to terms with it somehow. But in the meantime, we find out that Garrett, the boy that she was with, still loves her. And he doesn't think she'll want anything to do with him because of the way he left. So he secretly tries to bring her to Christ through these 12 gifts that he hands out for the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh, love that. Love that. And, coming back with this story, because again, when you are a writer, especially you're an author, and writing that review, talking more about the idea of the book, and again, it's really nice that someone who read the book had the real details and in-depth understanding of the book is. But, Ren, different authors really work differently as well. So I just want to ask you, like, especially when you write down your stories, like, are you a meticulous planner or do you prefer to let the story evolve as you write?
Oh, no planning. It evolves on its own. I will just feel inspired, and sometimes I'll sit and I'll only write a day or two, and other times I'll write for months on end. I have to feel it to write it. It seems like that's when it truly comes together and makes sense and is a perfect story.
Okay. So, thinking about it, like you want your story to evolve. It's not planning, like there's going to be more like there's going to be that hit of inspiration. Like I'm inspired right now. Let me sit down, write it. So, talking more about, you do have work that you do from day to day. So, what is your work schedule like when you are writing? Like, do you insert in between when you get that inspiration in? Or does it happen like you need to sit down or have a cup of coffee, think about it, or pray over it? So how does your schedule look like when you're writing?
Okay, well, when I'm writing and I'm inspired and ready to write, I will
Mhm.
get up and treat it as a regular job. Take my
Oh.
shower, have my breakfast, my coffee, sit down at the desk and say, okay, Lord, where are we going with this today? And that's where sometimes the words just fly and I can't get them down fast enough.
Love it.
And then I'll go to bed that night and I'll be like, oh, I wonder where I'm going to take this story next. But I get up in the morning and, Lord, where are we going to go today? And it goes off in a completely different um, direction than what I had thought of all night long. So I feel really blessed. And I do give God a lot of praise for these books because they are so inspired by him.
Mhm. So, and I love it. So, if I just want to ask you here, Ren, like talking about this book again, Promise of Love by Christmas, and again, to all of our viewers, Ren also does have a lot of books also on her bed. You can try to check her website. Don't worry, we'll show that link to you later on. But I just want to ask you, like, with this book, like, is your book advocating for a specific cause or agenda? And if it is, what is it, and why is it really essential for you as an author?
You know what? There really is a cause.
Mm.
I used to run a Christian drug and alcohol rehab with my husband for
Oh.
women. And I remember taking them all to a potluck dinner at church. And the very next morning, we went over to check on them, see how they were doing. And they were all kind of somber and just kind of looking at each other like, okay, what's up?
Mm.
You never knew what you were going to get when you went over there. And one of the girls said, we're a little confused. And I'm like, about what? And she said, we went to church. We weren't drunk. We didn't have any drugs. She goes, and we had a lot of fun and we can still remember it today.
Mm.
That's when I realized I wanted to write to the secular world and to today's generation to let them know there's a better way.
True.
You can live a moral life. You can have so much fun, and you do remember it all. You don't have to sleep around. You don't have to do drugs. You don't have to drink. And that is my whole goal with writing, is to bring these girls into a relationship with Christ.
Mm.
So that's what my writing is about.
I know
It's all
I gotta
about
say that
redemption.
I love it. I love the idea and also the agenda that your book is advocating to. And you know, Ren, I have to say though, there are a lot of authors who write with these advocacies, have these ideas and goals in mind as well. And if I'll just be asking you, like when talking about this book, talking about your again your agenda when writing this book, and there are some books that might be similar to this within the same category. So, what would be one thing, or maybe a couple of things that you could say that really differentiates your book from these other books? Then,
Okay, well, I know that one of the number one things I hear from my readers is that this is what they expect when they buy a Christian romance. There is a
hmm
lot of the word in it. It's directing you to how to accept Christ as your savior.
hmm
And a lot of the inspirational romance and the Christian romance, as they're so titled today, maybe have a verse in the beginning or a mention of prayer or God or somewhere in the middle of the book, but it's more story than Christ.
hmm
And I think mine differs because there's a lot of Christ in this book.
mm
Like, you get into it and the entire Christmas story is in there.
mm.
Um, it's the subject of Christ is interwoven with the characters as to
Okay.
where their life is at with Christ. And so I think that's where I differ from some other ones. But I have to tell you, I don't read a lot of books on my own. I'm always afraid to inadvertently steal someone else's idea or,
Oh,
book plot. And I don't want to do that. Whatever I have, I want to come from Christ and I want it to come from me as well.
love that. I
So,
really love that. Well, you know, I really love that, Karen, because yes, I do understand where you're coming from. Like reading other books, because you might not think that what you're writing down is really your own original idea, and you might be borrowing some ideas from different books as well. But
yes.
knowing that you want to really have that Holy Spirit within you and try to create something that means so much to you and has heart poured into it and soul into it has a much more deeper meaning, and it really hits much more deeper when it comes with your readers. And you know, I do understand that there was a literary agent who place a review on your book. But talking about the readers that you have, like what kind of reader reactions that do you find really most gratifying or surprising to you?
Number one is when somebody tells me they've accepted Christ as their savior.
Love
I
that.
mean, with the first one, I said, okay, this book just did its job. And then I think the second one would have to be, I get a lot of, I read this in one sitting and I couldn't put it down,
Mm,
because now I know I not only drew them in, but I held their attention through the whole book.
love that.
And
Well,
that's how I used to read back in the day. I would get a book, and when I got one that kept me up all night and half the day the next day, that was my favorite book. And I love books with a lot of dialogue. So
mm,
there's a lot of talking here.
mm.
And
And
hopefully the readers will become part of the story. They will find somebody to identify with and know that somebody else had gone through that and they can get through it. It might even give them ideas on how
mm,
to get through that particular situation.
love
So, yeah, I do love getting my reviews, even the bad ones, because they
it.
help make me a better writer.
True.
You
Agree with
know,
that.
I
Mhm.
take it with a grain of salt and I don't let it beat me down, but at the same time, I take it to heart, knowing that that affected somebody in a certain way. And if I know if I don't want to do that or if I do want to do that again,
Good. Love that. Love
I
that.
care
And
about the readers.
love that as well. Caring about the readers and having those reactions, not filtering the good ones, but also accepting the bad ones and trying to incorporate that into your future works and making sure that you can at least address these things and try to improve as well as being a writer and author. And so, Ren, I'm not sure though, but if ever there are some things, though, are there any future books that people might be expecting from you in the near future, though, when it comes with this, or we're going to be having basically a promise of love by Christmas, and that will be like first part of a series. Like, where is your writing career leaning towards to, if you don't mind me asking?
The second book in the Redemptive Love series should be coming out shortly before July next year for Christmas in
Oh,
July.
oh,
All of my
okay.
books are Christmas. I'm a Christmas girl. Um, and I'm really looking forward to that. And I'm co-writing it with my daughter, who is also
Hmm.
going to be coming to the book fair in Chicago.
Oh, yes. And I will, so you will be there again. And to all of our viewers, though, there's going to be an event, which is the Printers Row Lit Fest, which is going to be held in Chicago's Printers Row. That'll be happening from September 6th and 7th. So you will be there, including your daughter, during that event. Am I
Yes.
not mistaken? Love that. Love that. Okay. And you know what is, and to all of our viewers and book lovers, I would highly suggest before the event comes and before you meet Ren in person, grab a copy right now of, again, a of her book. Again, it's available through Amazon, Barnes& and Noble, and also through our website. It's readersmagnet.com, and also through Ren's website. That's www.ren-books.com. We'll be including that in the comment section below. And also, if you want to get it signed up, grab a copy. Visit our booth there, our visit Readers Magnet booth. Find Ren, look for her, and then grab a copy and make sure you can get a signed copy as well. Because there's nothing much more beautiful than having a signed copy from the author itself. But you know what, Ren, before we wrap up this interview, one thing that if ever there's something that you can say to aspiring writers out there, like what advice would you love to give them as they embark on their writing journey?
Oh, this is an easy one. Have fun. Have a lot of fun with it. Number two, know your target audience. Like
Mhm.
I'm 65, but I'm writing for 20 to 40-year-olds.
Mm.
And I use weird terms sometimes. I will put cream rinse instead of conditioner, or he was wearing a stocking cap and my kids are like, "No, mom, it's a beanie." So know your target audience, have people in that target age read your book and critique it for you. And then most importantly, be realistic. Unless you're doing fantasy or sci-fi, be realistic. If you're doing a hospital scene, know the terminology, hang with the doctors and the nurses, and or
Mhm.
the fire department is a blast. Go hang with them and let readers know that you do know something about that subject when you write it. I think that would be the three I'd tell someone.
Love that. Love that. Okay. As we come with the end of today's conversation, just want to say this to you, Ren. Thank you very much for joining us and sharing your insights. And you know what? I'm really excited to see the upcoming book you'll be having next year, July. Hopefully, it will be out soon so people can get the sequel. And I'm really excited to see where your writing journey takes you next. So I'm looking forward to see that, and I'm looking forward to see more of your work in the near future, Ren. Okay. And
Thank you so much, Rob.
And to all of our viewers and book lovers, thank you very much for tuning in. And always remember that every ending is just a new beginning in the world of stories. May your reading adventures be endless and your imagination boundless. And as we say here at Reader's Magnet, we share your stories with the world. Thank you and have a good one. Thanks, Ren. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.